Which kind of hurt is not a grievous hurt? Temporary disfiguration of the head or face. टेम्पोररी डिसफिगरेशन अगर कर देते हैं हेड और फेस का तो वो ग्रीवियस हर्ट नहीं है. एनी हर्ट इज ग्रीवियस इफ इट causes the sufferer to be in severe body pain or unable to follow his ordinary pursuits during the space of 15 days. 11 में A has knocked down 4 teeth of B. A has committed the offense of causing grievous hurt. 12 में है अंडर सेक्शन 116 of the BNS which of the following kinds of hurt is not designated as grievous hurt? Permanent disfiguration of the chest. 13 में है two persons A and B fight with each other. A was having a blade with which A inflicts injury on the face of B, leaving a permanent scar on the face of the B. A is guilty of offense of causing grievous hurt by sharp cutting object. 14 में है A was beaten by B. In this act, A's shoulder was dislocated, not fractured. B is liable for grievous hurt. 15 में है which of the following doesn't fall under the grievous hurt? Temporary privation of the sight of either eye. 16 में है which of the act amounts to grievous hurt? Emasculation. Which section of the BNS defines voluntarily causing grievous hurt? Section 117. What punishment is given for voluntarily causing grievous hurt in BNS? Imprisonment, which may extend to 7 years and fines. 19 में है which section of BNS provides punishment for voluntarily causing grievous hurt which causes the person to be in permanent disability or in persistent vegetative state. 117 का 3. 20 में है whoever commits an offense of voluntarily causing grievous hurt and in course of such commission causes any hurt to a person which causes that person to be in permanent disability or in the persistent vegetative state shall be punished with rigorous imprisonment which shall not be less than 10 years and which may extend to imprisonment for life, which means imprisonment for the remainder period of life. Which section 21 में which section of the BNS provides punishment for offense of voluntarily causing grievous hurt when a group of 5 or more persons acting in concert causing grievous hurt to a person on the ground of his race, caste or community, sex, place of birth, language, personal belief or any other similar ground. 117 का 4. Any group of 5 or more persons acting in concert causes grievous hurt to a person on the ground of his race, caste or community, sex, place of birth, language, personal belief or any other similar ground. Each member of such group shall be guilty of the offense of causing grievous hurt and shall be punished with imprisonment which may extend to 7 years and fine. 23 में है dislodging a tooth by a fist blow in is an offense punishable under section 117 का 2 of BNS. 24 में है be assault say using a sharp edged weapon resulting in an injury which is 6 centimeter long and half centimeter deep in the right forearm of A. B is liable to be charged for an offense punishable under section 118 of the BNS. 25 में है voluntarily causing hurt or grievous hurt to extort property or valuable security or to constrain to do anything which is illegal or which may facilitate the commission of an offense is dealt under section 119 of the BNS. 26 में है voluntarily causing hurt or grievous hurt to extort confession or compel restoration of property is dealt under section 120 of the BNS. 27 में है police officer tortures B in order to induce B to confess that he committed a crime under which section of the BNS the police officer is guilty of an offense. Section 120. 28 में है which section of the BNS provides for the punishment for voluntarily causing hurt or grievous hurt to deter a public servant from his duty. Section 121 of the BNS. 29 में what punishment may be awarded for the offense voluntarily causing hurt or grievous hurt to deter a public servant from his duty, imprisonment up to 5 years or both, fine or both. 30 में which one of the following sections of the BNS relates to punishment for voluntarily causing hurt on provocation? Section 122. एसिड अटैक। पहला में है एसिड अटैक इज एन ऑफेंस एज मेंशन्ड इन सेक्शन 124 ऑफ द बीएनएस विच। दूसरा में विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग इज एन ऑफेंस अंडर सेक्शन अंडर द बीएनएस। बी में है थ्रोइंग एसिड ऑन ए पर्सन विद द इंटेंशन ऑफ मेमिंग और डिसफिगरिंग। तीसरा में whoever causes permanent or partial damage or deformity to bones or maims or disfigures or disables any part or parts of the body of a person or causes grievous hurt by throwing uh, on or by administering acid to that person or by using any other means with the intention of causing or with the knowledge that he is likely to cause such an injury or hurt or causes a person to be in permanent vegetative state shall be punished with imprisonment which shall not be less than 10 years but which may extend to imprisonment for life and fine। चौथा में है whoever throws or attempts to throw acid on any person or attempts to administer acid to any person or attempts to use any other means with the intention of causing permanent or partial damage or deformity or bones or maiming or disfigurement or disability or grievous hurt to the person shall be punished with imprisonment which shall not be less than 5 years but which may extend to 7 years and fine। 5 to 7 years plus fine। wrongful restraint and wrongful confinement। पहला में है wrongful restraint has been defined under the section 126 of the BNS। दूसरा में whoever voluntarily obstruct any person or so as to prevent that person from proceeding in any direction in which that person has a right to proceed is wrongful restraint। तीसरा में है punishment for wrongful restraint is punishment for wrongful restraint is पहला simple imprisonment which may extend to 1 month or fine which may extend to 5,000 rupees। 1 month या 5,000 रुपए। चौथा में है A threatens to set a savage dog at Z if Z goes along with a path which Z has right to go। A commits wrongful restraint। पांचवा में N a landlord after repeatedly demanding and not getting the rent of his flat from the tenant H one day locked the flat in order to not to allow H to enter it till he pays the rent to him। Which of the following offences has N committed under the BNS। D में है wrongful restraint। छठा में है wrongful confinement has been defined under section 127 of the BNS। सातवां में है which section of the BNS the punishment for wrongful confinement is simpliciter। 127 का दो wrongful confinement। Police officer arrested and detained a person in lockup despite production of a bail order from the court। Police officer is liable of wrongful confinement। अगर पुलिस किसी को अरेस्ट करके रखा है बिना किसी काम के दैट विल बी wrongful confinement। नौमा में A causes Z to go within a walled space and locks Z in। Z is thus prevented from proceeding in any direction। Which of the following crimes was committed by A? C wrongful confinement। अगर किसी भी डायरेक्शन में मूव नहीं कर पा रहा है तो उसको हम बोलेंगे wrongful confinement। दसवां में है A places men with firearms at the outlet of a building and tells Z that they will fire at Z if Z attempts to leave the building। C में है A wrongful confines Z। 11 में है A was on his journey by a car from Delhi to Agra। B met him in the way and requested for a lift up to Mathura, an intermediate town। A acceded to his request, but on reaching Mathura did not drop B there in spite of his repeated request। B was carried over to Agra against his wishes। A is guilty of an offense of wrongful confinement। 12 में है A police officer without warrant apprehends Z who has committed murder। A has committed offense of no offense। whoever 13 में है whoever keeps any person in wrongful confinement knowing that a writ for the liberation of that person has been duly issued shall be punished with imprisonment which may extend to 2 years। in addition to any other term imprisonment which may be liable under any other section of the chapter 6 and fine. 14 में है whoever wrongfully confines any person in such manner as to indicate an intention that the confinement of such person may not be known to any person interested in the person so confined, or to any public servant, or that the place of such confinement may not be known to or discovered by any such person or public servant as here in before mentioned shall be punished with imprisonment which may extend to 3 years, in addition to any other term of imprisonment which may be liable for such wrongful confinement and fine. Criminal force and assault. पहला में है the act of use of force by one person to another has been described in section 128 of the BNS. दूसरा में in which of the following ways person causes the motion, change in motion or cessation of motion according to section 128 of the BNS. D में है all the above. तीसरा में है which one of the following provision of the BNS relates to criminal force. 129 में है criminal force. चौथा में है A intentionally pulls up a woman's veil without her consent, intending to knowing it to be likely that he may thereby injure, frighten or annoy her. A is guilty of criminal force. पांचवा में है which one of the following is an illustration of criminal force. A removes the veil of lady B causing annoyance to her. पांचवा में होगा. A takes his fist to B. सीधी है इसमें. छठा में है A incites a dog to spring upon Z without Z. Here A has committed the offense of criminal force. A speeds over B. सातवां में A speeds over B. A would be liable for the offense of using criminal force. आठवां में है which section of the BNS provides for the offense of assault. Section 128. As नौवां में है assault can be caused by C. both gesture and preparations. 10वां में है assault cannot be caused by mere words. 11 में which of the following is not an illustration of assault. A threatens B to see him later on. Is not an assault. बाद में देख लेंगे करके ये assault नहीं है. 12 में है A shakes his fist at Z intending or knowing it to be likely that he may thereby cause Z to believe that A is about to strike Z. A has committed assault. अगर किसी को मुक्का दिखा के बोलेंगे कि अभी मार देंगे दैट इज assault. 13 में A begins to unloose the muzzle of a ferocious dog, intending or knowing it to be likely that he may thereby cause Jed to believe that he is about to cause the dog to attack Jed. A has committed the offense of assault under the BNS. 14 में a person pointing a loaded gun at another person shall be deemed to be guilty of assault. 15 में which section of the BNS provides for assault or criminal force otherwise than on grave provocations. Section 131. What punishment is given for assault or criminal force otherwise than on grave provocation? Punishment which may extend to 3 months or fine which may extend to 1000 rupees or both. 17 में which section provides for the offense of assault or criminal force to deter public servant from discharge of his duty. Section 132. 18 में which section provides for the offense of assault in attempt to wrongfully confine a person. Section 135. Kidnapping and abduction. पहला में है which section of the BNS defines the offense of kidnapping. Section 137. दूसरा में है how many kinds of kidnappings are there in the BNS. There are two kinds of from legal guardian or from the guardian. Kidnapping from India. Kidnapping from lawful guardianship cannot be committed in which of the following ways? Taking or enticing any child by a person who in good faith believes himself to be the father of an illegitimate child, or who in good faith believes himself to be entitled to the lawful custody of the such child. चौथा में what punishment is provided for kidnapping from India and kidnapping from lawful guardianship? Imprisonment up to 7 years and fine. पांचवा में in kidnapping the consent of minor is wholly immaterial. छठा में the word text in section 137(1)(b) of BNS signifies physical taking. सातवां में है फॉर द ऑफेंस ऑफ किडनैपिंग व्हाट शुड बी द एज ऑफ माइनर 18 years. Lawful guardian in the context of kidnapping under section 137 of the BNS includes any person lawfully entrusted with the care of custody of the minor. नौमा में है A and B both are 16 years of age. A entices B for marriage and takes her to another city. What offense has been committed by A? A has committed the kidnapping. 10वां में है A is 17 years old, daughter of B. C without consent of B takes A for a tour of South India. C has committed the offense of kidnapping. 11 में है which section of the BNS defines abduction? सेक्शन 138. 12 में है whoever by force compels or by any deceitful means induces any person to go from any place is abduction. 13 में है which one of the following is an offense of continuing under BNS? abduction. 14 में है abduction can be committed against a person of any age. 15 में है for the offense of abduction of person abducted must be minor or major. 16 में है for abduction the abducted person should be of any age. 17 में है in which one of the following section of the BNS kidnapping or maiming a minor for the purposes of bathing has been discussed? सेक्शन 139. 18 में what punishment is provided for kidnapping a child for the purpose of begging? Rigorous imprisonment which shall not be less than 10 years but it may extend up to imprisonment for life or fine. 19 में what punishment is provided for maiming a child for the purpose of begging? Imprisonment which shall not be less than 20 years but which may extend up to imprisonment for life, which shall mean imprisonment for remainder of the person's natural life and fine. 20 में which one of the following section of the BNS kidnapping or abduction for murder or ransom has been discussed? 140. 21 में A is forcibly carries or entices B away from his home in order that B may be murdered. A has committed the offense of in BNS under section 140. 22 में whoever kidnaps or abducts any person or keeps a person in detention after such abducted or abduction and threatens to cause death or hurt to such person or by his conduct gives rise to a reasonable apprehension that such person may be put to death or hurt or causes hurt or death to such person in order to compel the government or any foreign state or international intergovernmental organization or any other person to do so abstain from doing any act or to pay a ransom shall be punishable with death sentence or life imprisonment and fine. 23 में which section of the BNS provides punishment for ignoring importing girl or boy from foreign country? Section 141. Under BNS, importing girls from any country outside India is punishable if the age of the girl is under 21 years. 25 में which under BNS importing boys from any country outside India is punishable if the age of the boy is under 18 years. 26 में which section of the BNS defines and punishes the offense of trafficking? Section 143. The term exploitation referred in section 143 of the BNS refers to all of the above: physical exploitation, sexual exploitation, slavery, servitude, beggary, forced removal of organs. 28 में which section of the BNS provides punishment for exploitation of trafficked person? Section 144. 29 में which section of the BNS provides punishment for habitually dealing in slaves? C में है 145. 30वां में what punishment is provided for habitually dealing in slaves? Imprisonment for life or imprisonment up to 10 years and fine. 31 में which section of the BNS provides punishment for unlawful compulsory labor? Section 146. Unlawful compulsory labor. Section 146. Thank you.